my interview with the tell-all author, Jamal T. Millwood, a.k.a. Chris Todd, is going crazy right now. The fact of the matter is, it was a put up or shut up moment. He gave me one of the last copies of the book as it stood. He couldn't show Amazon the hard drive or the information that he alleged happened in this book, so they took it down. It's one thing to say something. It's another thing to be able to prove what you're saying. You know what? Let's get into some of this straight game.
Life is like the cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, click on the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And like I always say, if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and click on what appears to be that little bell notification right below this video. I'm going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going crazy right now. The controversial interview, I would say the first sit-down interview that tell-all author Jamal T. Millwood, a.k.a. Chris Todd, did, and I did it over there on the Art of Dialogue. It has a lot of people in their feelings right now. Let me first address this. When I prepared for the interview, most people, they wanted to hear me go over, from what I understand, the salacious details of the book, if you will. That wasn't my job. My job was to approach it how I felt like I needed to approach it, based on the fact that Chris Todd had made accusations and statements in reference to having a hard drive that was given to him by somebody that was close to Kim Porter, that he alleged that Kim Porter wanted released. It was 59 pages, right? And so when you say that, you're basically saying that he said that she said that this needed to be something and he was the guy to deliver it, right? Well, my job was to find out what he actually had. And as you can see, when I come with the information that I understand and have, and most of the people should know, if you say that something happened on this time and this date, if you're being accused of something and someone says that, you know, they have a confidential informant to say, yeah, you were here on this time and this date, right? But you have video camera or pictures that you were somewhere at that time and that date to show that you are innocent and absolves you of any responsibility for what they're trying to say that you did, then there you have it. He wasn't there. Here's the video. Here's the picture. Here's the comment. Here's the conversation that went on at the time that you said that this person was here doing what you said that they were doing. So therefore, what you saying that he did didn't happen. It's just as simple as that. Most people wanted to believe from the Diddy perspective, and they're like, well, it came across as if I was trying to defend Diddy. Sean P. Diddy Combs has 3 lawyers. He don't need me to defend him. I'm not his lawyer. What I was trying to do was find out where the information that Chris Todd was disseminating to the public through this alleged memoir or information that he got quote unquote diary or not a diary at that particular time that he had got from somebody that had got it from Kim Porter. Now, number one, he couldn't reveal any sources. That's red flag number one. Number two, the fact that on the book, and like I said, he gave me this book right here. He gave me this book right here in the interview, which he scratched out the Jamal T. Millwood. Why is that? The disingenuous part most people are not paying attention to is Chris Todd is evidently a white guy. He knew that when he wrote this book, he could not put his name on the book based on the fact that people would immediately know and think about what works he had put out previously under the name Chris Todd. And they would have immediately caught on and saying, well, yeah, he did something about OJ, he did something about this other stuff and all of that, and begin to question the legitimacy of this alleged tell-all book about something that he alleged that Kim Porter or somebody from Kim Porter had given him, and Kim Porter wanted it put out. We know now that that is absolutely, totally false, fabricated, and a lie. And we know now the fact that what really happened is that Chris Todd basically wrote this himself, right? Pinned it as something that he got from somebody else and allegedly said that it belonged to Kim Porter. But when his feet was held to the fire, he could not produce anything, not one scintilla of evidence that said that what he was saying was true in regards to the hard drive. So much so that when he alleged certain things that most people would know if they really understood the situation about Tupac, would know couldn't have happened, or Kim Porter wouldn't have said that based on the information that she knew about what was really public about the situation involving Tupac. Chris Todd said in the interview that he wanted us to believe that this is what Kim said. I'm promoting and pushing what Kim said, right? But he couldn't show us the hard drive. He couldn't show us the metadata. He couldn't show us nothing involving that. But he said, this is what Kim said, and I want you to believe it. I'm taking Kim's word. But when I put up or showed him an actual interview from when Kim said that her and Sean P. Diddy Combs actually started dating, and it took a few months and a few long phone calls, because she wasn't really immediately impressed about this. You got to understand, in 94, it wasn't really popping like that from that perspective. She said it took a couple of months and we finally started dating, officially at this party, which was a Christmas party, which there was an actual picture of that Christmas party. And it was from December 31st, 1994, right? In Chris Todd's book, he basically said that they were in an open relationship when she allegedly dealt with Tupac from that perspective. And I'm saying, well, the insinuation is that Kim Porter and Sean P. Diddy Combs was already in a relationship. Chris Todd couldn't prove that. I'm giving you what Kim Porter said in an actual interview, her words. And when confronted with that information, he was like, no, I'm not going to let you do that. Not going to let me do what? I wasn't trying to do anything. I'm showing you concrete evidence with a photo and a statement from her. Well, that was 30 years ago. That was how long ago? I don't believe what Kim said. What? So what he was asking everybody to do was believe what he was saying that Kim said. But when Kim actually said something and you could point to the article, he was saying, I don't believe what Kim said, because it contradicted what he was trying to convey in that book that he wrote. Kim did not write anything in that book. She didn't. He couldn't put up the hard drive. Put up the hard drive. The book's been taken down by Amazon based on the fact that he could not produce what he said that he had. If he did, he would have a bestseller. Period. If you had a bestseller book by some kind of putting it out and catching the right moment, and they say, well, look, you go into Amazon and say, look, show us what you got. Because if you got what you say you got, we'll leave it up. Because you can now substantiate the claims that are in the book and, showing that it did come from a hard drive that came from Kim Porter. But more so than anything, he's alleging that some people gave it to him, right, from that perspective, and he couldn't tell us who they were. So they was shrouded in mystery. And that's not how it's done. Notice, for the people that don't know, he reached out to us or to the Art of Dialogue, right? And so therefore, most people don't know that. They would be like, well, no, he reached out. And maybe one day I will show you that he reached out, but take my word for it. Like you wanted to take his word for it. I actually have the documentation to show that he reached out, right? But notice he wasn't on any major TV networks. In every interview that he did, the one with Vanity Fair, the one with Rolling Stone, where he said, I can't say that everything in the book is true, but sometimes you got to put it out there. Come on, y'all. It's the oldest trick in the book. Why did you have to put it out there? Because he wanted to make money, right? So when you understand what went down, you got a bestseller by mistake or on Kim Porter's purpose, but not. It wasn't true. It was a lie. It was fake. And then when asked about the Albie Shore situation, do you have any evidence to show that Albie Shore was involved with any kind of threesome? No, he didn't have it. So how can you say it? Oh, Kim said it. What? Show us the hard drive. I can't. Come on, guys. Like I said, once again, so when you deal with that, another thing, you got to go check out the interview on the Art of Dialogue to really understand what I'm talking about. Another thing, in the end of the video, over on the Art of Dialogue, I asked him about the J-Lo situation. And the reason why I did that was because Kim Porter, not that she didn't like J-Lo, but this was the person who stole her man from her eyes. Chris Todd insinuated in the book that there was this opportunity where Kim Porter, Sean Puffy Combs, and Jennifer Lopez had an alleged threesome or hinted at that. It could be the furthest thing from the truth. Kim Porter was hurt. And also that J-Lo came to the house where Kim Porter allegedly was with Puffy and came to the house and talked about why you shooting and why you did the shooting and all of this, right? This is what he's saying that Kim Porter overheard and put in this alleged hard drive that he got from somebody else that gave to him that he wanted to put that Kim Porter wanted to put out. What? And so it was hinting that J-Lo was actually saying that Sean Puffy Combs did the shooting by Kim Porter's words. That needed not to be said. Shine just recently spoke out and said that he didn't do it, that Diddy did it. Shine was right there with him. That was a substantiated claim, right, from the person who was there. Not this ghost rendition of, yeah, I got this from somebody and they said this, and then Kim Porter said this, that J-Lo said this. It was he say, she say, all the way through. Any intelligent person would have noticed that. But if you into the salaciousness and the bullshit, right, then you mad. Then the interviewer, don't never let him do an interview again. Please don't. Don't never let him hold somebody's feet to the fire and try to get the information that any reasonable person would want to see. That's the thing that I'm talking about. So when I see all of the negative comments, you got to know. People come over to my page and they say, hey, don't do it. And then they leave a smiley face. You really don't hate it. You really loved it. You really loved it. And most people have a problem telling you that. It's like, who wants a do-over? A do-over for what? So you want the do-over, you want the book back up on Amazon? Amazon is not going to put their reputation on the line in regards to something that is being said in the book, who the author is using a fake name, like he was a black person, right, to sell the book. That was red flag number one. Who is Jamal T. Millwood? He doesn't exist. And if Chris Todd would have used his name, we would have been immediately been able to recognize the other things that he has done and how much credibility that they have, which is really none. This is the best effort that he's ever put out in regards to any kind of book, novel, or whatever have you. And to be perfectly honest, it was a pamphlet that was rushed. There were grammatical errors, all of those things. When you look at it, when you say by Jamal T. Millwood, a person that doesn't exist, for Kimberly Porter, no, it would be by Kimberly Porter, right? It's allegedly her words. But he was so caught up in his ego, it was by Jamal T. Millwood for somebody who doesn't exist, but it was really by Chris Todd for Kimberly Porter. But he doesn't represent Kimberly Porter, but in his mind, he was saying that, I represent and speak for Kimberly Porter. He said it in the interview. So when you understand what just went down and the fact that the book has been removed from Amazon, it was a fake to begin with. But I got to give Chris Todd, he has a lot of a chutzpah, if you will, to do that. Like I said, once again, he said when challenged, he would put up the hard drive. We're still waiting to see the hard drive. He alleged to have videos. We haven't seen none of what he has. He said he was going to whistleblow. He turned the book, the publishing of the book, to actually him being a whistleblower. Well, we're waiting to see all of those things. And if we see all of those things, then I'll stand corrected. I'll apologize to him. I'm like, hey, man, you were right. But I doubt that he can show us the information that he's claiming to possess. Because like I said, when you go on a major network, they're going to vet you first and make sure that what you say you have. And you can show them in confidentiality on private. And they'll say, hey, we seen X, Y, and Z, what he has. This is true from what we understand and we have. He hasn't did it. And like I said, he reached out to the Art of Dialogue. And I have the proof of that and can show that. Your boy DELRAY, straight gang.